episode 5 of the Control Breaker. Sorry we're a little late, but we're gonna pack the show. We're gonna pack it like I pack various things that I don't want to say right now, but I'll say that for the actual podcast.
Various things that are packed.
Like my anus.
Packing bags, packing boxes, packing tape.
So anyway, the two voices you're hearing here, this is the only man that cannot find his. You know what? I'm just gonna skip all sexual innuendos. This is Armin.
Nice to meet you, Armin. I'm Joel. How you doing?
And that's Joel, of course. And we're coming at you with a pretty packed show to bring it all back around to the beginning of the show.
There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about a whole lot of stuff. A few of the things we're gonna review here are gonna be LOL, League of Legends. I'm gonna do a quick review on that, Dishonored review, and then FTL review.
Nice.
And but let's kick off the show with something you want to talk about. Something about G4.
Oh, yeah. So a while back in one of our previous episodes, we talked about how G4 was moving away from their more video game centric, more nerd centric programming, and to, as they put it, they wanted to become, more GQ, more of a men's
Yeah,
channel.
yeah,
Basically, they wanted to
Abercrombie and
become
Finch.
Spike.
No, they want to become Abercrombie and Finch. I know it.
Pretty much, but the final nail in the coffin of that was it was recently announced that they are canceling two of their longest running shows, X Play and Attack of the Show.
I mean, okay. Okay, when you cancel like Attack of the Show, which has been the staple even before when it was called the Screensavers in like
Yep,
'04 when it was great, like when you get rid of that, you're not G4 anymore. Like,
pretty much.
and I
I
mean,
bet.
yeah, I haven't liked their setup. Like whoever the hell that Sarah chick is, who
Eh.
clearly is reading off a teleprompter everything she says because she doesn't know anything.
Oh, I can't stand that one. That new woman they got in to replace Olivia Munn. I have never liked her.
Yep, yep.
And I wasn't crazy about Olivia Munn either. I was to think I actually got kind of emotional when Kevin Pereira left the show. It was hard to believe how much he actually brought to the show.
All right, right.
And Adam Sessler leaving X Play, that was really I mean, X Play had been a shadow of its former self for a while, but I had kind of stuck in just because Sessler was there.
Right,
As soon as he left, the show was just unrecognizable.
right, right,
And that's not to say I don't like Morgan Webb. I do. It's just, yeah, the show's just not the same anymore.
right, right.
And now it's going to be canceled. So, yay. And this is one of the few instances where I'll say, thank God for the pirating community.
Huh.
Because if it wasn't for them running around and pirating the good episodes of X Play, all the good skits and reviews and segments, people may very well forget the good that was on that show.
I mean, if we're really going to talk about the good, I mean, there used to be one of these shows. It was run by like two Canadian guys, so they might be our neighbors, Joel. But they used to like review games. Oh, God, I can't remember what it was
Oh,
called.
reviews on the run?
No, no, it was something. It was older than that.
Electric Playground?
Electric Playground. It might have been that. Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, they still do that show here because I have the Canadian version
Oh,
of
okay.
G4, which is G4 Tech TV.
Right, right.
And yeah, it's two guys, Victor
Yeah,
Lucas.
that's it. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, Victor Lucas, he's like the big head honcho of Canadian games
Yeah,
journalism.
yeah. I mean, he used to be awesome, and like I used to, their reviews were pretty spot on. They didn't, take bull crap from anybody. Like they would
Oh,
honestly say, what they felt, which I was like, oh, that's good.
the show's still going on over here.
Oh, see, that's awesome. And then there was my favorite show of all time was G-Force Icons.
Mm,
Like they would take like Shigeru Miyamoto and it'd be like a 20-minute or two-parter episode dedicated to everything. So like they did one on EverQuest, the first ever famous giant MMO. They did
right.
one on Kazunori Yamaguchi, the guy that made Gran Turismo. Like it was
Hmm.
so awesome. Like and like they deviated too far from that. And when 90% of your hour, of like your 24 hours a day is dedicated to cops and cheaters, yeah, you're
Yep.
probably not gonna be good.
Again, basically, they really want to be Spike TV.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, I guess this is the boys in the hood moment where we pour a 40 on the curve for G4.
Uh,
Alas, poor G4, I knew him.
now, I do want to talk about something which you just brought up before we did the series. Were you one of those stupid people that bought Skyrim $150 plastic dragon edition?
No, I wasn't actually.
Okay, well, you saved yourself $100 because you weren't stupid. So, how would you feel if I told you a year later you could be stupid again, get an edition with a bunch of useless shit, except it doesn't come with any of the DLC they've released?
Well, as a PlayStation 3 owner who's already feeling a little burnt and a little screwed over,
Yeah.
by that, no, Bethesda, you don't get my money for a better, newer edition that doesn't have the DLC in it.
Yep.
Even though it comes with a shirt, comes with, a novel, I think, and like some postcards.
I
I,
just like, oh, God, it's
if I wanted a Skyrim shirt, I'd buy a Skyrim shirt. I'm not going to buy the game again.
right. Why didn't they just like how? Okay, okay. I just want to get this out there without swearing. I want to say,
Okay.
how hard is it? And like, they didn't even include Dawnguard in this. So
Oh,
what's the
really?
point of releasing? Yeah, no, I
Oh,
read it. They
wow.
didn't. So you're releasing it a year later. It's just a shiny new box, but you're not.
Not to mention with a game like Skyrim, you figure everyone who's gonna play it has played it by now or bought it.
I know, right? So what's it gonna do? Releasing it at the same price with a few extra knickknacks.
Oh. I guess it's a geek status symbol thing, like, yeah, man, I bought Skyrim 3 times.
Right, right.
That's really the only way I can see it, yeah.
I mean, I can't complain because I bought Oblivion just about as many times as a human breathes in a day. Like I own Oblivion on PS3,
Nice.
360, PC, PC Collector's Edition, Steam, retail box. Oh my! I own like 12 copies of frickin' Oblivion.
Mud crabs.
Yep, what crabs it is.
So many mud crabs.
So yeah, I guess if you're one of those stupid Skyrim fans who'll spend blindly on anything, here you
Or,
go.
or if you got $150 laying around and you're a super, super late adopter, I guess.
Yep, I guess you're good to go, buddy. But now
hmm
new Bioshock Infinite teaser and collector's figure.
Yes, Beast of America, which actually looks pretty freaking sick as hell.
Yep.
Which it's good to see a trailer and a trailer with a lot more gameplay footage because, after they pushed it back, we kind of didn't hear about it for a bit and we were all kind of getting scared, like, oh
Yeah,
no, or
not even that. They just released a bunch of their head designers and all that. Like
yeah.
a bunch of their development team and all got laid off. So it's like, oh god, what's happening with this game? And then like right on the heels of that, they released a trailer like, oh, it's still coming. Look at all this cool crap we're packing in. It's like, oh, thank God.
Which is good. It's exactly what people need at this point in time. And the collectible figure, it's the big metal bird thing from the
Right,
game.
right.
Looks pretty cool. I don't know if I would plunk down the extra money for it, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, unless they could put something real good in there to like get me interested.
hmm
Like well, I know the PS3 owners are gonna get Bioshock One, but it's like at this point, if you're buying Infinite and you haven't played Bioshock One, why are you buying Infinite? You
Yeah.
know? It's like
Well,
buying a
I was gonna say for me, I rented the first BioShock, so it would be nice to be able to get a free copy of it so I could play through it
such a
again.
good game.
It really is. It really is. It holds up.
Something else that's gonna hold up. Grand Theft Auto 5 release window leaked, spring
Possibly,
2013.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
let's just
this
say
year.
this: we know Rockstar's formula. It's
hmm
coming in the first 2 weeks of May
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
because they like to storm. And now you're gonna see the shift. Everybody moves all their games from from the winter because they don't want to compete with Call of Duty. They move them into spring. A couple
hmm
years ago, Rockstar did this with Red Dead, and everything else flopped, and Red Dead succeeded.
God, can you remember there was a time when there was actually a summer drought for
Oh
games?
yeah,
It's hard to believe now. Now the video game industry has taken such cues from the movie industry
oh yeah.
and realized, well, shit, if we have a big enough blockbuster, we can open it whenever we want and people will come and buy
And
it.
what Rockstar knows is they don't have to say anything else about Grand Theft Auto. They could just come out right now and be like, "Hey, we're releasing in a week,"
Yeah,
and
and
it's gonna
people will
explode
buy
to
it.
the point where no one else is gonna buy any other game.
Something I hope that doesn't happen this time that happened before. I remember Grand Theft Auto 4.
Uh huh.
That I'm a gigantic Grand Theft Auto fan. I'm sickly involved in the series. And I watched every trailer, reserved my copy, the whole deal. Like the week before, like the day before Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, after almost no commercials on TV, we were just inundated with trailer after trailer, commercial after
Uh-huh.
commercial, to the point that I was freaking sick
Right.
of hearing about it while I was playing it. I hope they don't do that again.
Sick. I remember when Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out, I actually started dating my current wife, at the time. Like, that's when it came out.
Oh, no.
So, like I left school, went to pick it up, and I remember like walking into, my local GameStop at the time. It was the Electronic Boutique before they got
Nice.
bought out, and like I walk in,
Maybe
they had,
electronic boutiques here.
yeah, they had police officers lined up through the mall asking people if they're picking up Grand Theft Auto because people were actually standing there threatening people because they were sold out. Like people were just going around being like, "Hey, like I guess some like two kids got beat up trying to get out of the mall because some dudes wanted their Grand Theft Autos." I was like, "Damn!"
That's
Like,
how huge the game
dude,
is.
this
It's
game
so
is like,
good.
yeah, it's serious business.
It's so big you will commit a felony. I would argue a new Grand Theft Auto is in every bit as big as like a new James Cameron movie.
Oh my dude, I think I think a new Grand Theft Auto, like if like everybody knows about it, like it's just one of those things.
Like even people who don't game have probably played some Grand Theft Auto at
Oh
some
yeah,
point.
oh yeah. I know my
Shit,
mom's seen me play it.
I remember there was a big deal that Grand Theft Auto 4 was released on like the same day the first Iron Man movie came out.
Right.
And so-called experts and analysts are like, "Oh no, well, could this be the case? Could Grand Theft Auto actually steal ticket money from Iron
I
Man just
actually
because it
say it
comes out
did
of the same?"
because I remember talking to a bunch of my friends that were interested in Iron Man.
Hmm.
None of them saw it until it came out on DVD because they were like, forget that. We're gonna get Grand Theft Auto.
I was
So,
gonna say, really, because I saw it the other way completely. I did both, and it was an awesome weekend.
well,
I
see,
played
I
Grand
did
Theft.
both, but a lot of
Yeah,
people I know, they had money for one. They're like,
right. I
well, I
guess
can go spend $12 on an Iron Man ticket and like $30 on popcorn, or I'm just gonna buy
yeah,
Grand Theft Auto right now and I'll see Iron Man whenever. So,
yeah.
yeah,
I
I,
guess
I
when it
saw a lot
comes,
of flip flopping over here.
yeah, I guess when it comes with spoiled people with disposable income. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny that that's how big Grand Theft Auto is, that it actually gets, people in other industries freaking out.
Uh huh. Well, it's big. That's all.
Mm.
I mean, it's so big that Rockstar doesn't even show up to game conventions anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
it's
don't
because they
have
know
to.
people will buy it. Yeah.
Like that's like Activision has to show up with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They don't have to send Grand Theft Auto. And like
Hmm.
I guarantee you this, if E3 was going on and suddenly Rockstar went on their website and released one trailer, one trailer for a new
Hmm.
Grand Theft Auto game, no one would care what's going on at E3.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Like that, it's that powerful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, and let's get on to the next piece of news. Assassin's Creed Liberation trailer looks freaking awesome.
Hell yeah, it does. Not only do you get to play as a woman, you get to play as a black woman in a time of slavery.
Right?
They
Isn't it
actually,
on like Louisiana also?
oh yeah.
Like that's like man, that was like the dirty, the oh my god.
I know.
This
And I
game
could
has the potential to possibly be the best Assassin's Creed story, centered around the character because it's such a.
I know. It's such an emotional story, such, a divisive story too.
Uh-huh.
To bring in, like she says in the trailer, I'm an assassin, but I use the guise of a lady, the anonymity of a slave, and stuff like that. I'm like, geez, this is hardcore. This is
Yeah.
serious.
I mean, at this point, I know I'm picking up Assassin's Creed tomorrow morning. Like, my wife and I are dropping our daughter off at school, and then she's taking me straight to the game store so I can buy the game.
Oh,
And
she's
then
so nice.
I'm coming home and just straight up playing that. But it's like, I have a little extra money, and I've traded in some stuff, and like, I might just pull the trigger and buy Liberation and a Vita. Like, I'm that. Like, I love Assassin's Creed so much that I am getting that little, the Assassin's emblem. I'm getting that tattooed on me. So,
Nice, nice. It's definitely one of those games. I mean, there are a few games out there that made me actually want to throw down the cash for a Vita. One was Persona 4 Golden,
mhm.
and the other one was Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
To where I'm like, shit, that looks good. They brought their A game to that.
Yeah, I mean, they had the Assassin's Creed, PSP game, which
Mm,
wasn't bad, but it was so limited with the system and like the draw distance was terrible and all
yeah.
that. And like that's one of the complaints I'm hearing about Assassin's Creed 3 is the draw distance is horrible because they packed it so much in with the game, and I'm like, honestly, I don't care. I just want the game. I want it to be good.
Mm,
Like,
and it's funny too. I'm sure we'll get to it later in the show, but I am honestly surprised the Assassin's Creed games are not more controversial
oh yeah,
when they set up with stuff like this, where it's like, oh no, you're a freed slave, killing slave owners and whatnot in
yeah,
Louisiana. It's like what? I mean, and that gets nothing. You mean Fox News doesn't jump on this? I mean, I'm glad they don't because they're wrong, but
yeah, I
just
know.
to think that that's ballsy. You would almost never get a movie like that. Although I guess we're getting
Django.
Django
Yep,
Unchained, yeah.
I
But
can't wait
even
to
the,
see that.
me too, that comes out Christmas. But even then, that's Tarantino like half winking at the audience.
Uh huh.
Assassin's Creed is doing it like 100%
Yeah,
seriously.
I can't wait. Well, while we're on the subject of Assassin's Creed, what's your favorite and least favorite Assassin's Creed game?
Whew. Okay, Love 2. I thought 2 was just this really great story with a beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
And that's why it kind of bugged me with the later games where they're like, hey, how great Ezio's story was and you know how we ended it? Well, here's two add-ons to his story. I would say Revelations kind of bugged me the most because it was by that point Ezio was really starting to grate on me
Right, right.
just as a character. Even though I loved him, at first he just really started to grate on me, and there was a point where he started looking like the most interesting man in the world. He was all gray beard and stuff running around Constantinople. And there was a point too in Revelations where you just had too much shit. You were like a freaking walking Swiss Army knife. You had hook blades and bombs and guns and crossbows. It was overwhelming. It was just way too much. And that's why I'm kind of interested for 3. It looks like your dude has slimmed down a bit, kind of dropped some of the unnecessary stuff, and you actually look like a guy who can run and jump now and actually be stealthy, which I feel is something the series has kind of lost. I mean, yeah, you got to be smart and walk around and stuff, but I'm talking about actual stealth.
Right, right. I
It,
I don't. For me, I mean, my favorite was Brotherhood.
oh, really?
I loved Brotherhood. I loved just how I loved the whole Brotherhood aspect. I thought that was a great addition. And then
It,
but my least favorite I gotta say is Revelations.
yeah, but you and I, we
Yeah.
agree on the
It,
same one. Yeah.
I mean, just oh my god, like what happened? You try to cram so much into it that you forget, what made you you.
There's a tower defense game in there. Like I said, it gets to a point where it's just overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, one thing I will say about Brotherhood is obviously, the assassination targets you do in the game are based on real people
Right.
and whatnot, and they just have to die at the point they died in actual history. It bothered me with the Borgias because the story basically had to contort itself and do backflips just so they all died at the right point in history. And in some cases, I'm just like, dude, Ezio, kill this fool now. Oh no, wait, you can't because historically he didn't die here.
Right.
It's where the point where history started rubbing up against telling a good story, and that started to
Oh
bother me.
boy, here we go. Yeah, hey, Joel, speaking of Assassin's Creed 3, here's breaking news. How much do you like microtransactions?
Uh,
Good,
not
because
off.
you'll be able to buy in-game money with real money.
For real? God
Yep.
damn it. Well, money has never been a problem in the Assassin's Creed series,
I, dude,
especially in
all I
2.
would do, I would like buy up 3 or 4 shops as fast as I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like by the time I'm halfway through the game, I owned like the entire world.
Yeah, I know, right? As money has never been a problem in the Assassin's Creed
I
series
wonder
if
if
you
they
invest
scaled it
good.
back in this game.
Maybe that would be bullshitty if they did. That would be total bullshit.
Uh huh.
Oh well. Yeah, I am not a fan of microtransactions.
It's just, god damn it. I hate them. But
I mean,
anyway,
I used to like it when a game rewarded you with skill and whatnot. Now it's just like, oh, I don't have to actually pay the game. I can just buy my way
right,
to
right.
victory with real money.
Now, the other thing that just came out like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, it's still kind of hot news. Skylanders Giants came out.
Mm.
Okay, this is for little kids what new comics are for me. It is crack.
Oh, I know. It's like the Pokemon of a
Dude,
generation.
you Okay, so my wife and I were looking, and we stopped by Toys R Us that weekend because me and her wanted to pick up some more Marvel action figures. And
Your relationship is awesome. So, me and the wife were picking up Marvel action
yeah, I
figures.
know, right? Every guy's like, "You son of a."
Then we were gonna go eat junk food and bang because it's all cool.
Wow, actually, we did do that too. We ended up buying a bunch of like Pizza Hut and a bunch of like Twizzlers.
I can just see the future, can't I? I'm friggin' psychic over here.
Oh man. But anyway, so we walk into Toys R Us, right? And right as we walk in, there's this giant like I'm talking about, those like 8 foot tall by like 6 foot wide stands.
Hmm.
There was about 7 to 8 of those. It is literally 2 aisles worth of just Skylanders figures, and like we got there like maybe 20 minutes after the store opened. It was swarming. Like they had people just standing next to boxes, cracking them open and tossing them up once people walked away.
It sounds like you're describing that thing from The Simpsons with the Malibu Stacy
Oh,
dolls, where
actually, it's
they're.
almost exactly like that. Like my friend works at GameStop, right? He's the
Mhm.
manager. Uh, he sent the picture. There was little kids with their faces like glued to the glass at like 7 in the morning when he walked in to open the store for 9.
Man, that's like Pokemania. That's like a new Pokemon game
So
coming
like
out back in my day.
right, and like so like my wife and I were like, oh my god, and Toys R Us for that one weekend we're running, the day debut was you buy any Skylanders, you get the next one 40% off. So of
Huh.
course, naturally, we ended up spending $240 on Skylanders.
Explain Skyline. Like it's a game,
Okay,
but
so
it's
here you
like.
go. So it's a game, and you get this thing called a Portal of Power, which is plugs into your system, right?
Right.
So and on this thing, you get these with the game, you get 3 action figures, and
Right.
these are cute things. They're like Spyro and like this guy called Chop Chop, who's like a skeleton ninja, but they're all
Oh,
cute looking, right?
that's right, Spyro. I was gonna say, isn't that where my buddy Spyro has been living for the
Well,
last,
he's been
couple
degraded
years?
now. He's not even in the title anymore. He's just one of the Skylanders now.
Ah, poor Spyro.
So
Spyro can't catch a
so
break.
like you buy these figures, right? And you get 3 with the starter pack, and
Mm-hmm.
you put them on this portal, and they appear in the game. Now, what's cool is like as you're playing the game, right? They level
Uh-huh.
up, but they don't level
Nice.
according to your memory. They level to the figures themselves. So
Right.
my daughter can take her figure to one of her friends' house, puts it on, and that's her figure, with her name on it and all that.
Damn.
But it's like the thing they get you is there's like after Giants is out now, there's like 60 figures, right? And each figure is $10, or a three
Mm-hmm.
pack is $20, and
Right.
extra levels are also sold like that. So,
Uh,
and if you want more lives, you have to buy more figures.
wow, this sounds like, Facebook meets like the Duel
Oh
Monsters.
my God, dude, this is literally like I walked in there, my wife and I were looking, and we saw one of the rare figures that's like a chase figure, and like
Mm-hmm.
one woman was carrying it. She was debating if she wanted it or not, and this is like a rare figure, right? The moment she put it down, I fucking like sniped that right from where she put it down.
Man, you're right. This sounds like selling crack.
Dude, it's insane. It's a phenomenon. Like imagine if Pokemon was to do this or something, you know?
Oh my God.
Like so this game, like I bought it for my daughter. We haven't played the Giants yet because I'm gonna give it. I'm saving it for her for Christmas, and by
Thank
then I'm
God she
gonna
doesn't
buy
listen to
like
the podcast.
yeah. Oh God, I would never listen to anything I'm on.
Yeah, really. You're a good parent. You would never let her listen to anything you do.
Until she's at least 18, she's not getting wind of what I do on the internet.
Yeah, really.
Because by then she'll understand it's all jokes. I don't actually do all those nasty things to mommy.
That you say you do. So yeah, Skylanders.
So Skylanders, man, it's addicting. If you're on the age of anything to anything, you will love this game. It is very
Now,
fun. It's lighthearted. It's just fun. Like that's the only way I can describe it.
no, it's funny. We compared it to Pokemon. They actually recently came out with, Black 2 and White 2, the first, direct sequels
hmm
to a game. And surprisingly, there was no mania around it. There was really no commercials. There was
I,
no, marketing
I
push.
think people are just getting sick of them at this point. You
Well,
know?
again, it's like the first direct sequel, and it was, usually when a new Pokemon game comes out, even though I haven't played them in like forever and ever,
Uh-huh.
I can still feel the mania. I can still feel it around the internet.
Yep.
Yeah, there was really nothing for the sequel. I was
Yeah.
surprised as hell.
That's just, the way it goes now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. And I mean, they're still solidly done RPGs. I mean, I played a little White when it came out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the problem we're getting with them now is like they're just the same thing over and over. And like if people keep asking, they're like, please just put this on a 3D console. They're like, nope, because we know it sells bucket loads.
Well, the thing with Game Freak too, the people who do it is they're this very, idealistic game company where they're like, no, no, no. If kids are to play the Pokemon, I don't know why I'm making them French. If they are to play the Pokemon, they must play it on their DS so they can get out and they can socialize with the other children and drink their wine and have their fun. I don't know why I made them French, but I think in the last one too, they added like triple battles and two rivals and
Right,
the
right.
Game Gear thing when you pass by.
Eh.
So it's not like they're resting on their laurels. I mean, every game they add something new, but it's nothing like to really
They, they
shake it up.
do they do the yearly WWE update.
Basically.
Hey, yeah, we've done nothing. Well, time to put out a new package, guys.
And not to mention too, I mean, it's gotten to the point now where they've basically done every cool animal you can reasonably think of.
Oh, now they're just like, now they're just out of their mind. They're just mixing anything they could possibly think of.
My favorite one was, okay, here's a Scotty dog with a giant mustache. That must have been a 3 in the morning edition. Like, oh guys, we're shipping tomorrow. What do we do? Scotty dog, giant mustache.
uh,
And not to mention too, like I have some friends who are like sickly deep into it,
oh,
but
me
it's like,
too.
but it's like they don't even have fun with it anymore. It's like to them, it's all about numbers and stats and
Uh huh.
everything. It's
Oh, I
like they
know
become
that.
freaking card counters with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, they don't even play it professionally and everything. They're like, no, I must give him the Pokerus virus or whatever, so he
Man,
can.
I gotta get my Pidgey to level whatever. Pidgey's
Yeah,
still a
really.
Pokemon, right? He hasn't been retconned or something.
No, they're still in there. Matter of fact, that's the thing with Black 2 and White 2. The new thing they've been talking about is you can actually catch Pokemon from across the entire continuity, so you can actually get like Gen 1s and stuff
Oh,
in
that's
your game.
cool.
That is cool because, again, how devious those games were. You had to, if you were really serious, you would have two DSs and two copies, and you
Oh
would trade
yes.
back and forth.
I remember having my pink DS and my blue DS. Or
There you
not,
go.
I mean Game Boys, original Game Boys. Oh
Game.
God.
Oh yeah, I remember them. Gotta catch them all.
Right.
You will
So,
never catch them all.
so now we're gonna get into some of our review section, and one of our listeners asked for me to review League of Legends or
Oh.
LoL as it's called. So I haven't played it a bit, but I'll go off memory. So if I'm a little rusty, don't oh my God, this motherfucker, he needs to burn in hell because he does not know what to talk about. Okay, okay.
Man, we're really going on the accents this episode.
Like I haven't played in like 2 months and I haven't had time, so I'm just gonna go off on what I remember. So LoL, first of all, it's a MOBA game, and that's multiplayer online battle arena. And
Hmm.
this is essentially you start off. There's like a few maps, but the most famous is like there's three ways to go. There's the middle, the top, and the bottom. And there's like
Hmm.
these turrets set up on the way, right? And your turret automatically like you spawn 5 or 6 minions and they go, and they're always gonna balance each other out, like from your enemy and your side. But the point is, like there's five of you on a team, so you have to offset that. So you run in there
Hmm.
with your and you start killing their minions, so your guys get a little closer to taking down their turrets, so you can get to the end of their base, where they spawn and destroy. It's a very simple process. Now, what gets hard about it is all the crazy combinations, the things you can buy for your characters. Like I play a character called Sivir. Like she's this chick and she has a
Right.
this giant glaive, and
Nice.
I accessorize her by I don't fight any people. I go through the jungle and I just kill like these random, computer spawns, right? And I build
Hmm.
up enough money to make my glaive bounce off 3 or 4 targets at once, and I
Nice.
increase its speed by like 300%. So I'm constantly throwing this glaive, and then I go into the bottom or top row, and I absolutely demolish into it. And when
Uh,
I'm doing that, their whole team focuses on me, so my other team members can push down the middle or the bottom. So
mm-hmm.
it's all about coordinating an attack and getting it right. I mean, this game, if you want addicting, and if you want internet craze, this game
Yeah.
defines it. Like, I'm not even a hardcore player, but when there's the tournaments, when they're streaming it, I'm
Oh yeah.
watching it. Like, this
Yeah.
stuff is intense.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a couple Korean friends who are right into it and who are telling me about it. And these are the guys who do like all day long StarCraft tournaments
Uh huh.
type thing. And the way I figured, well, geez, if it's hardcore enough for you, maybe I'm not right for
Well,
it.
dude, like when I got into it, like I didn't know what to expect, and like I went balls to the wall deep in this game. Like I was
Hmm.
playing like 8 to 9 hours a day on my days off for like 2 months straight.
Right.
Like last summer, I spent majority of my time playing League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like it is such a good game. Like if any of you play that are listening to this and you'd like to play it with me, or maybe we can arrange a comic book cast slash Control Breakers playthrough. Let me know and we'll arrange something. I mean, nothing serious. We'll just have fun. Take on the AI or take each other on or something. But it'd be fun.
And maybe I'll get into it, after I get into Doctor Who, because that was what Tom and Sean were browbeating me for. What do you mean, Joel, you're not into Doctor Who? And that's like, what do you mean you're not into League of Legends?
Oh, League of Legends, man, it's so good, and like there's so much competition in that space now because like Valve
Hmm.
is releasing Dota 2, and of course don't let the two fool you because Valve never made a Dota 1. Dota 1 was a mod to Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Like, and there was even a lawsuit over that with Blizzard, and it's
Well,
such.
same with Team Fortress.
Oh
That was a
yeah,
mod.
it's like there's so much. Like these MOBA games are just like a craze. And
Yeah.
as good as Dota 2 is, and I like it and I play it, I still think League of Legends is better. But
Now, the thing I hear about League of Legends too is that it's very well balanced. That you
oh
have a
yes,
good
oh my god,
chance
yeah,
with no matter who or what you pick, which
yep.
which I like. I like the idea of balance.
And I mean, if you're really hardcore about it, you'll go online and you'll get the best build. So as you're killing stuff, what to buy when and how to maximize your damage per second and all that. But if you're
Hmm.
just like me and you just want to have fun, you'll just wing it and you'll lose, you'll win, but you'll have fun.
Right on.
So yeah, League of Legends. Since this is kind of a review, I want to review it. I give it like a 9 out of 10. If
Right
you're
on.
into this type of game, this is online competitive at its best. Like you think Call of Duty is online competitive? Ha, ha. That's all I gotta say to you. This is where it's at.
Hmm.
So 9 out of 10, and I'll leave it to you, Joel, with Dishonored.
Right. So I picked up Dishonored from Arcane Studios, the people who you may remember brought us Dark Messiah of Might and Magic a while back,
Yep.
like a long while back. Matter of fact, I think it's interesting when that game came out, people were calling it, like an Oblivion clone,
Yep.
or people were always putting it up against Oblivion. That's why I find it interesting that Dishonored is brought to us by Arcane Studios and Bethesda.
Yeah.
So they've entered the fold and whatnot. It's a first-person stealth action game set in the city of Dunwall, which a lot of people call it steampunk, and it certainly is like steampunk Victorian.
Mhm.
But it's not even steam. It's more like whale punk because everything in this world is run on whale oil.
Right. Right.
And it's interesting. You play Corvo Atano, which clearly this guy must have gone to the same school as Ezio because Corvo is actually Italian for raven, as Ezio is
Oh.
Italian for eagle. Apparently, if you want to be a cool assassin in video games, you need to get yourself an Italian bird name. It's like you'll get no respect if you don't do that. You're the bodyguard for the Empress of Dunwall, and as the game starts, she's assassinated, and you're framed for her murder and thrown into prison
Right. Now,
for.
since you have this game and I have it, but I have not played it, like that's how busy I've been with stuff.
Of course.
Would you like how would the main aspect that appealed me to it was of the freedom of every level. Is
Mm-mm.
there freedom?
Oh, hell yes, there is. Every assassination mission that you get sent on, you get rescued by loyalists, and it's basically you got to take out all the conspirators who were part of the Empress murder, they're sprawling. Like every little assassination thing is absolutely sprawling, almost to the point that it's a little overwhelming. I know myself, after years of playing Assassin's Creed, I figure, well, okay, to assassinate, I better get to the roof as soon as
Right.
possible. That's the way I took, because usually if you're at the roof, there's either an entrance or something to help you get your target
Yep.
on the roof. Plus, you can do little side missions and little jobs for people all around the place, and they'll give you like keys or shortcuts or something to help you get a step closer to your target. But the most interesting thing is, even though it's a game about stealth and assassinations, you don't actually need to kill anybody. This is one of the few games I've ever seen where you can do complete no
See
kill
that
runs.
that is my thing. Like if that is an option, like in Mirror's Edge, I will
Mhm.
do it, and I will keep loading back until I make sure I have not killed anybody.
And the most interesting thing too is that some of these no kill options in many cases are much crueler than just
Right.
sticking a knife in the dude's throat. There's one early on where you got to kill these two aristocrats.
Right.
And these guys are total D-bags of the highest order. And yet a local crime boss says, "Well, tell you what, if you help me get a painting I've been after, I'll kidnap these two dudes for you, and I'll put them to work in their own illegal mining operation. I'll shave their heads, cut their tongues out, and they'll just stay there forever." To where I'm like, "Geez, maybe I will just kill them. That sounds kind of cruel."
Right. Right.
And
Now, okay, since I like I said, I do have it, but I haven't even like turned it on yet. Um, is there multiplayer?
no, there is not
Thank
multiplayer.
the lords.
I know, and I was actually hearing reviews that again marked it down for not having multiplayer,
Oh,
and
of course.
I'm like, why? It's a single player game. Why should it have
Right.
multiplayer? Now, it's funny. We did this review kind of late, and I feel shitty for it because Yahtzee Croshaw from Zero Punctuation totally stole what I wanted to say, and it was about silent protagonists. Corvo, the guy who plays a completely silent protagonist, which rubs me the wrong way because there are so many situations in this game where it's like, dude, open your goddamn mouth and say something.
Right.
Like there's the bit where you're being framed at the beginning. I'm like, how about say you didn't do it? Or there's scenes later on where a guy gives you a cup that's clearly poison. It's like, dude, aren't you gonna say no? I don't trust you. This is clearly poison. I never like it in a game when I feel smarter than the main character.
Right. Right.
And speaking of voices too, this game has an absolutely amazing voice cast, one that they don't really shove in your face. You have to read the credits to
That's
understand
very
it's
rare.
very rare, especially for a game. Susan Sarandon is in it. Uh,
Wow.
Br- Brad Dwarf is in it. Carrie Fisher, freaking Princess Leia, is in it.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. If I was them, I would have put that all over the place.
I know. Lena Headley and the Empress's daughter, the little girl who you have to take care of for the game, is Chloe Moretz, is Hit Girl.
No way.
I know it has an amazing cast, and one of the guys you fight later on, Dodd, is actually Michael Madsen.
I would have put this all over.
I
Like,
know, right? And better yet, Michael Madsen's character Dodd, he's getting his own DLC spinoff
huh.
soon, which is great because he was like my favorite character. He was absolutely awesome, this guy.
Damn, that sounds
So
awesome.
yeah, it's it's an assassin game as I said before, but it's helped out by the fact that you meet this character, the Outsider, who's clearly the devil who gives you these amazing powers. My favorite one being you can blink, which basically it turns you into Nightcrawler from the
Yes.
X-Men that you can teleport. And oh my God, is the game so much fun being able to do that? Because you figure, oh cool, I can blink onto rooftops and stuff. Yes, you can, but even better, you know what you can do? You can blink behind someone and assassinate them.
That's so
That's
awesome.
so much fun to have a dude coming towards you, but then just blink behind him.
Right.
And every skill you get too has a combat focus too. Like I can blink into a dude and I can knock him off kilter and stab him because the game has this parry mechanic, like actual sword fighting.
Right.
Got to block an incoming attack, then come back on him. Ooh, flintlock pistols and crossbows in the game. The flintlock pistol is so amazing. I did a total kill run in the beginning because I didn't care. I upgraded my flint lock pistol. The highest it would go, got incendiary rounds. It was a freaking monster by the end.
Nice.
Nothing could stand in my way. But that's the other thing about the game too. Everyone you fight and kill is, a flesh and blood human for the most part. So you're not going to be getting many epic boss battles.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good. That's something I figured the Assassin's Creed series kind of lost sight of
Uh-huh.
at a point where it was never just as simple as go and kill a dude. The worst you're going to run into are these things, the tall boys, which are these giant, basically walking turret towers with lights, which are your worst enemy in the game, but you can actually air assassinate them too, or you can take the whale oil tank out at the back and shut them down. It's so cool. There's such creativity in the world, in just in the way that you can go about assassinating your targets, and the randomization is the other amazing thing about the game. Stuff is randomized all the time, so you'll never play the same thing twice.
That is very cool.
Ones in particular that actually really did my head in is you go to a costume party and you got to assassinate one of the people there, but you got to find out what costume they're in. But the
Right.
costume changes
That's cool.
randomly different times you play it, so you got to do the research again to find out who they are and get them.
Wow,
It's
that's really cool.
yeah, it's just really cool. It's
And
short. If you're really good at stealth games, they'll be, about maybe a day. But then again, I'm not good at stealth games, so it lasted me much longer.
right, right. So,
And the best thing about it too, or yeah, go ahead, I'll come back to
oh
it.
no, I was just saying like so as a whole, it sounds like I mean, you're pretty positive. Is there any like negatives about it?
Uh, Again, it would come back to the fact that your character is a silent protagonist, and there's really no one to root for in this story. Your dude is silent; he doesn't do much. Hit Girl's character, Chloe Moretz, is cool, but they
Mm,
keep writing her in and out of the story. I guess just having a weak protagonist, but besides that, everything else is just so damn cool. My favorite thing, and this is something that I think all stealth games really need to do, is even when you fail, even when you screw up the stealth, you can still fight your way out of it and still not feel
yep,
like you
that'd be
screwed everything.
nice.
That's really nice. I mean, that's something why I always liked the Hitman series.
Oh
And
yeah.
Hitman Absolution comes out soon, and I hope they keep that too. The feeling that you're not totally boned. And also does the whole dual ending thing.
Oh,
So basically making sure you'll play the game a second time to get a different ending. I don't think it's much,
right.
but yeah, and it's also one of those game worlds, a la Skyrim, where you can figure out as much or as little of the world as you want by, doing side quests or reading books.
That's always nice.
That is nice, but although I felt they could have weaved a little bit more of it into the actual narrative.
Right. Huh.
It's
Oh,
and plus too, the story isn't the most amazing thing ever. They basically tell you right away, hey, these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. You will almost certainly get screwed over in the third
right,
act.
right.
And plus the fact that your character never talks, so I felt I was smarter than him the whole time.
right, right.
But
Uh,
beyond that, I mean, I know people have already sung its praises. Oh, best game of the year, a game that only comes around every so often. And while I agree, it's certainly the most original game of the year. Geez, maybe the most original game in a long time. Uh, yeah, it's, solid 9. They're coming out with a bunch of DLC later
Sweet.
on. Two story ones and an actual challenge map that I think will only serve to boost the game. If you love stealth games, if you love stuff like Thief, this is very much like Thief. If you love stuff like BioShock, it's also very much like BioShock. You can't go wrong with Dishonored. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm unfortunate that I have Assassin's Creed and all this other crap coming out, so I won't be able to play it for a while.
uh, but that's the great thing too. It'll be waiting for you when you're ready. I mean,
Yep.
geez, assassination is really the hot thing now, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
We
Huh?
got this in Assassin's Creed. Matter of fact, this game is so good, I think Assassin's Creed 3 will really have to up its game.
That's always good to hear. So you
Like,
ended up giving it like what, 9, you said?
solid 9. I mean, we're
Nice.
probably going to do a top 10
Oh
best of the.
yes. Oh
And
yes.
this is definitely on there. This is
Perfect.
definitely.
I'll try to play it by then so we can see. Now this I didn't announce this in the show, but I just want to mention it. I did play the new Medal of Honor Warfighter. Um, I don't know what's wrong with sites like IGN giving it like a 4 because you can literally, and I did this, but I can't put it up on YouTube because I don't want to get copyright strike. I literally took the video from Call of Duty, from their review, and put over their Medal of Honor audio, and it matches up perfectly. Yet they give Call of Duty like a 9 every year, and they give Medal of Honor a 4. There is no difference except that Medal of Honor Online is freaking amazing. Like you have
Well,
all these different like, and I don't even play multiplayer. So for me to say that, like I was like blown away with how different it was. Like you have different squads from around the world, and each one has different like powers and abilities and perks and things like that the other ones can't get. The single player is traditional, what you expect. Blockbuster, Call of Duty set pieces. There's no.
the driving looked interesting, like
Oh
the
yeah,
actual
like
chase scenes.
they actually got a bunch of guys that they made Need for Speed and stuff to do the chase sequences, and they
Yeah, well,
actually handle a lot. Like in Call of Duty, all you do is hold forward.
yeah.
So this literally, I don't understand why the hatred from people like IGN and a few other websites, but it really doesn't deserve a 4. I would say like a 6.5 is
Because
like.
it's still not amazing. It's
No,
still
no, it's
very
not.
middle
It's
of the
your
road.
it's your generic FPS, just like every Call of Duty, just like Battlefield 3. The single player is complete crap, and the multiplayer is where it's at. But it's not deserving all the hate it's getting
Well,
because
you know what I think it is? I think Warfighter is just the straw that broke the camel's back for many people,
right,
where they're just like, oh God, another generic military shooter.
right.
Is I think what totally did it to them because let's face it, I mean the gray brown FPS had its day in the sun. It's been the biggest thing for a long time now. I think we're ready for something new
Mm-hmm.
to come and shake up the genre. Or for me, and by God, if there's any game developers out there, please steal my idea because I want this to be done. Do a parody. Do a hot
Right.
fuzz of military FPSs because they're just so damn serious and not like an ounce of levity. And they're serious even
Well,
when they're being
did you see
ridiculous.
that Medal of or EA released that like it was like the Medal of Duty or something. It was like their spoof video game. It was like one chapter you could buy or not
Oh,
buy. It was
really?
like free to download, and like every time you kill someone, like this ridiculous like pops up. It's like you are now level 39, Major Sergeant Major Lieutenant 3, and like you get a
Yes. See, they
headshot.
need to do more of that.
Yeah, dude, that'd be amazing. Like they just someone needs to just make fun of themselves at this point because it's
They
all the
really
same.
They really do, and have like, oh, I'm Commander Exposition. I run ahead and give exposition,
Right,
or I'm
right.
Corporal Door Kicker. You need me to kick down doors, or else you can't advance.
Right. But yeah, that's just I just want to put that little out there. It's not as bad as freaking IGN is making it seem. If you like military shooters, you'll like this. That's
But
the end
I,
of it.
I get the feeling Warfighter is really just paying for the sins of Call of Duty and
Uh-huh.
of Battlefield and all these other things. It was in the wrong place at the wrong time when everybody's really looking to hate an FPS. Plus, I don't. I'm sure Medal of Honor has its fans, but you're not gonna get completely, spammed to death
Right.
for saying it's shit. So you can basically take out all your hate on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And as I've said before, I mean, we're starting to see the trailers now for Black Ops 2. I'm just not interested anymore.
No, I just don't care.
I'm not interested at all. And they're like, no, but it's the future. It's different. They're changing shit up. I'm like, yeah, I know, but they also got into bed with Oliver North. So even if I did care, I would completely, disavow it just on a moral basis.
Right, right.
And also, a thing that kind of turned my stomach, Warfighter, there's a whole thing early on where they make you go through terrorist boot camp, which seems like such a total, oh, well, Call of Duty has controversial scenes, so, we need to do that,
Huh.
which kind of bugged the shit out of me. So
Yep.
yeah, that's our little tirade on Warfighter, which is also a stupid name, Warfighter. I'm sure
Just to
it's a
let everybody
military
know, yes, I will play Blops 2, and yes, I will review Blops 2.
blops.
So anyway, and the last thing we want to talk about is my quick review of FTL, Faster Than Light.
Or
Uh,
how I got killed by space pirates.
Yup. This is gonna be my running for Game of the Year.
Oh, really? Right on.
Like, I mean, just the sheer fact that this game is made by two dudes in their basement. It's the first Kickstarter success. Like, there hasn't been anything to show up from Kickstarter that someone's back that you can be like, ooh, that turned out good. No lawsuits yet. This was back,
Yes.
and it succeeded. So there's not much I could say. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, the FTO is great. It's a top down. It looks crude. You guys can go see the LP I put out. I'll do another one at some point. It's really fun. Absolutely love every single thing about it. It's, I mean, if you ever wanted to be a Star Trek captain,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Who
what it
hasn't?
is. Like, I can't talk enough about it. I don't even know how
Yeah.
to describe it in words because it's just one of those games you have to experience. And best of all,
It,
it's
it-
10
I
bucks.
like the. Yeah. I like that you can name your crew members after people you know, so you can have guys like me killed by space pirates.
Yep. Yep.
Somehow I always knew I would be killed by space pirates.
So, I think that brings up to the end of the show. Oh, FTL gets up like a 9.9 out of 10 for me. If you
Right
want
on.
a simple indie game, I'm not judging this on the same scale as I'm judging everything else. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's so good for an indie game. This is like a true like successor, type masterpiece type of game. It's well deserving of the 10 bucks I paid for it.
Yeah, for what it is, for what it costs.
Yep. I mean, just to sum it up, a typical run in FTL will use you like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how fast it is, and I've put in like 60 hours.
Nice.
So that should sum up how amazing of a game it is. So any closing notes we want to put out there?
Uh, Not that I can think of. This was a jam-packed show. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, we packed this from every angle. I mean,
Just
if this was
packed it
Snooky,
good.
every hole would be filled.
Pack.
Yep. So, for all you people that listened, that made it this far, thank you. And remember, if we survive the hurricane, we still got December 21st to look forward to.
Nice.
Aliens.